Hello guys, this is Dollar here once again. So right now we're gonna be looking at the GBP USD. We're gonna be looking at the pound and dollar. So we're just gonna be concentrating on whatever that has actually been happening, so that we can try and find the best possible way to actually help you guys to actually trade and actually make profits. So previously, what we can actually be able to see is that we have this area, of which this area was previous support. There we supported the market going to the upside, supported the market going to the upside. We supported the market actually going to the upside up until we finally broke, and then it acted as a resistance. So we expected the market to actually come down, but then we never saw that actually happening. So now the market has now broken above this area. So now we're expecting a retest. It actually been done. So now we can expect that move to actually go to the upside. So now, okay, sharp. Let's look at it and try and find out what is it that we can actually see. So with that being said, once you draw your support on the monthly, you can also draw your resistance on the monthly, of which that's your major resistance. That's where the market actually turned previously before it actually came back down. So also we can use a trend line, some sort of like a trend line to actually guide us on the current trend of the market. So here what we can draw, we can just draw this trend line there with that trend line. And then also if you can look at it, we can also draw the below trend line, of which the below trend line we can just put it to be something like this. Okay, we can just put it to be something like this. Even though the market actually went all the way up below there before it actually came back up. So but then let's just leave it as it is. So this is what we actually have on the monthly. On the monthly, we still I believe that on the monthly time frame we're still on a downtrend. But then if we can look at it, that downtrend, it is not legit anymore, because now since now we've actually created this support here, we expect the market to actually go to the upside. So it will come out from the market if like it actually goes up and actually break this area and continue going up, or it actually goes all the way there and then actually try to come back down. Because it's that same area. If you can look at it, I can draw a zone there that's actually going to be very, very useful. And that zone, if like I can just draw it, you guys can be able to see it as well. Uh, okay, the page is not responding, but then it's going to respond. Then we're going to go back into it. Guys, we're back at it again. As I was still saying, I can draw a zone that's actually aligning with that trend line, of which my zone actually can be like this. So if you can see what actually was actually happening, this same zone, it was actually acting as a resistance so many times, up until it acted as a support, and the market actually broke below that area, and then we saw the market actually coming back all the way down. So basically, it actually makes sense. So if like the market is gonna go all the way up there, it's gonna be meeting this trend line and then also this zone. So probably there's no way that the market can just pass here without testing. So we're just gonna be aiming for that market to actually go there now before it actually take that test and then give us some more horizontal structure before it actually breaks above and then continue and go into the upside. Okay. So that's all. So I'm just gonna go to my weekly time frame now. On my weekly time frame, what is it that I'm actually seeing? The weekly time frame is very, very nice. It's very, very nice. It looks very nice to me. Okay. So I'm just gonna remove this from the monthly. I'm just gonna draw a new support from the weekly, the one that I actually previous one that I actually had. And then looking at it also on the upside, what I can actually do, I can just draw lines everywhere where this thing actually turned, so that we can be able to find our support and resistance much easier. So you see the market 10 came back down, also 10 came back down, 10 went up, 10 went up. So that's my most important recently that I can actually draw. And also here, if you can look at it, the market actually 10 there, went to the upside. So hence I drew that line. And then I'm also gonna draw the last one, of which it is up there. So yes, guys, so basically just like I was saying, sorry about that, let me just move this. So I'm just gonna draw lines everywhere this thing actually turned. Okay. Can I please go back to monthly a bit? There's something that I'm actually seeing. Um So basically this channel actually, that was not the right channel. The market actually turned there. I just had to go back a bit down, all the way back to 2008 when we had a recession. So there, it makes sense now. So basically, if you can look at it, the market actually turned there, went up, it turned there again, went up. So now it actually turned there again, went up. So now it makes sense. So let's go back down to, so going to the weekly, this is what I actually say on the weekly time frame, that we can, if you can just look at it, the market is on a is on a bound range. Why am I saying that it's on a bound range? Because here it was the left shoulder, the head, and then the right shoulder. So right now, let me just move this to the right. So this was our most recent support. And if you can look at it, right now the market is actually now playing in between this zone here. So if you can look at this by just the look of it, you can see that the market actually is in a close bound range. So that means that the market in this case, you can never say where the market is actually going, but then a break above. Because from the way I said, if I can just look at it with the recent price here, I can see that it's gonna break, but then it's not ready to break now. So basically, it just means that the market can just play around this area before it can actually break or go into the upside. But then once the market actually breaks on the weekly, and then we know that we're actually going all the way up there. So what I'm gonna do right now in this case, I'm just gonna go to I'm just gonna go to our daily time frame. Before I go to my daily time frame, let me just draw my inner trend line. My inner trend line is just gonna start from there, like that. And then I have my inner trend line. Okay. So basically, I know that once it actually breaks up there, I know that it's actually gonna continue going to the upside. Okay. So you can also draw another inner trend. You can draw as much as inner trends that you actually want. You can draw as much as you want. So basically, even here we saw the inner trend actually getting broken. So basically, I'm just gonna remove these inner trend lines. I don't really need them in this cage, in this state. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to my daily time frame. Okay. Going back into the daily time frame, what you can see is that hey, daily time frame, this area here, it was a resistant area. The market actually broke above it. But then right now, it just came back to break below again. So right now, the market right now, what's actually happening, I'm just going to remove this zone since I'm not going to need it. What we can probably be able to see in this case, in this state, we can draw our own close bound range. So basically, don't expect the market to actually come back all the way down there. Don't expect the market to actually come back down there all the way there, because right now it's already establishing its own new support. Okay. So this support that I'm actually talking about is this area, this support here, of which the market actually acted on. Here it actually failed to actually continue going to the upside. So right now, and also here down here, we can actually see our support. So here, what we can probably be able to see it is that we can be able to say, you can conclude and say the market right now is in a close bound range on the daily time frame, because it keeps on going to the resistance, coming back to the support. Right now, we can see it going to the resistance, coming back to the support, until the market actually breaks above this area here. If the market can just break above this area, form a retest, and then we know that we're actually going to the upside. But then in this state, we know there's nothing much that we can actually do with this close bound range. We're just gonna watch it play up until it actually breaks in a direction. Okay. So this is what I actually see on the daily time frame. So let's go to 4 hours. So these are 4 hours. You see the close bound range that I'm actually talking about. Still makes sense. Here we're seeing that the market is actually playing on this area. So, but then here, since it's some sort of like a smaller resistance, you can see the market actually coming back to this area again, going all the way up there, up until it can actually finally break above. But then we're not going to be entertaining these small moves. We're just going to wait for the market to actually do it. We're just going to wait for the market to actually break above this area, then continue going to the upside. But then for those who want to actually enter the short term, you guys can still enter it. How do you guys enter it? Just draw a trend line here. You can see if like you draw a trend line, then you have some sort of like we have some sort of like a wedge, of which we can actually use it to actually enter our trade. Okay. So basically right now, what we're just going to be doing, we're just going to be aiming at this thing actually turning there, coming back down. And then from then, if it breaks above this area, and then we know that the market is actually just going to continue. Short-term trade, you can enter a sell here. Expect this thing to actually come down. If it breaks above this area, we know that it's actually going to the resistance. From there, it's going to come back down. But then one thing that I'm sure of, it is that this is a third touch on a trend line. We have the first touch, we have the second touch, and now we have the third. So basically, we're just going to sell there, expect this thing to actually come back to this area of support. And then from there, maybe we can actually have those buying entries going to the upside. Okay. So here we're going to take a sell. We're going to take a sell. Sell stop loss just slightly above. Somewhere there above. And then take that sell. So the sell is just going to be 1:2, of which it's going to be very reasonable. You lose $10, you get $20, $20. It's very, very much reasonable. On the daily, what I was saying. On the daily, it also makes sense. So just take that sell there, and then take it all the way down there. So you'll be aiming at around 70 pips. So it's better than nothing. But then I'm also gonna take this sell here, short-term sell, and then but then what I'm actually looking for the most is actually this buy above that close bound range on the daily. So on the daily, I'm just gonna wait for this thing to actually break above here, give me a retest, and then I'm gonna take that buy all the way to the upside. That's gonna be around 900 pips to 1,000 pips. So we're just gonna be aiming for that. So one thing that you can actually expect here, it is that once the market actually breaks above this area, take that buy. Take that buy. Then you can stop loss below, obviously. And then your risk reward ratio can be 1:7. It's gonna be a very, very long journey for us, but then we're gonna be taking this buy. So looking down on what the institutions are actually doing, because we trade with the institutions to join. So remember, anything that's actually traded against the US dollar on the spot, we're only gonna be looking at that currency pair. Any currency traded against the US dollar on the spot, only going to be looking at that currency only. So looking down on it on the pound, this is the pound. On the first week of December last year, we had 28,000 buyers compared to 56,000 sellers. So basically, this actually tells us that pound was very weak in the stage, hence we saw pound actually going down. And then we kept on adding on the buyers. We kept on adding on the buyers. We added on the buyers there while closing some of the sellers. So basically, that actually pushed the buyers to 36,000, and the sellers as well pushed to from 56,000 to 65,000. So and then from then we kept on adding on the buyer side, kept on adding on the buyer side up until we're at now 45,000, of which 45,000 from 28,000, that was a plus or minus of 18,000 that we actually added on the buyer side, while the sellers were actually closing down their trades, not really closing down, they also added by 5,000 probably to 61,000. So basically what was actually happening here, it is that the buyers and the sellers were both adding their trades. So hence we saw the total actually being stagnant at 23,000, and then went all the way to 5,000, came back being added again, pound getting weak against the dollar, getting weak up until right now, whereby like we kept on adding on the buyer side, being stagnant on the buyer side, and then on the seller side, we actually kept on decreasing from 66,000. Now we're at 57,000. Buyers from 41,000, we're now at 54, plus 13,000 on the buyers, minus or plus or minus 9,000 on the sellers. So now the total from 23,000 all the way to 2,000. So this actually shows that the pound is actually now aiding on the buyers, that the pound is actually becoming strong from 29,000 all the way to 2,000. The total actually decreased by close to minus 27,000. So hence from that time we saw pound actually going to the upside. Hence we saw pound actually going to the upside from here. Hence we saw pound actually kept on going to the upside from January. It went up, came back down when the sellers actually decreased, and the buyers also decreased, and then we saw it going up again. So hence I'm saying on the weekly that we've been on a close pound range, because pound has been getting weak, getting strong up until now, where pound is actually now very strong. A break above this, it's gonna take us there. So this was Gbpusd with dollar. So guys, I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos for more educational content that we're gonna be sharing with your guys, so that you guys can be professional traders, so you guys can make a lot of money and trade with the institutions. See you guys in the next one. Dollar from the Goats of Wall Street. Moving on.